guys, Tommy with Elevation every weekend here. In this video, we're going to get the Ibis DV9 out for a first ride. We're at one of my favorite places to test bikes. That's Erie Single Track Advocates. There's a green, a blue, and a black line, which are all great for testing the bike going down fast and with cornering and some jumps. And then on the other side of the park, there's a bunch of single track trail. It's a great place for some descending and short punchy climbs. So we're going to spin the camera around and get rolling and see how the bike does. Okay, here's the first inaugural run ever on this bike. It's just a green trail. It should be a nice warm up. Towards the end of the video, I will give my complete summary of my thoughts on this first ride. I am not big on jumps anyway, but since this was the first ride and I was getting a feel for the bike, I avoided hitting any jumps that I otherwise might at this park. That'll warm the legs up. That actually felt really good. Bike's very precise, corners well. That's even with these more cross-country oriented tires on it. It's more of a long gradual climb returning to the top. I'm gonna run that green trail again just to get warmed up. I'm excited to try some punchy, steep climbing with this. All right, now we're gonna try a blue line. Black line, actually. There's a short dirt road connector to the backside of this park, which is not technically the bike park, it's multi-use. It's a bunch of looping single track trail. Gives you a good chance to test it on that type of terrain. Cornering, short punchy climbs and descents. Fun little network to rack up some miles. Let's see what the bike can do. This bike definitely wants to go when you lay the pedals down though. See how the climb. See how it climbs. Effortless. And there's the road back to the bike park, which will be heading back that way shortly. Brakes definitely grab, which is good. Generally I prefer Shimano brakes, but these SRAM G2s are pretty good. And the other thing, unsurprisingly, that feels really good is this Fox front suspension fork. Which is one of their performance line stepcast models. Feels drastically better than the RockShox Reba I'm running on my Truck Pro cow right now, which is a really good fork. So as we wrap up the ride footage, let me summarize my thoughts. As mentioned, the bike corners really well. It feels very sharp and precise, hitting corners and berms at speed. The Geo is really dialed for going downhill fast, at least on these smaller, faster descents in this video. I can't wait to get the bike on some bigger, more technical descents up in the mountains. As a result, I have very high expectations now. Otherwise, the bike feels smooth, comfortable, yet plenty solid. As for climbing, it felt surprisingly effortless, as I mentioned previously. It really was indiscernible from my Truck Pro caliber, which is a pure XC race bike. I really feel like these alloy Ibis wheels are actually a real gem. Even with the 30mm wide bead gap, which is great for trail riding, they felt really good cornering at speed or climbing. And I do plan to investigate the attributes of these wheels more down the road. As for the parts spec performance, the SRAM NGX drivetrain shifted crisply and did great, and the SRAM brakes were a pleasant surprise for me as well. The dropper seat post worked well and performed as expected, but the real standout on the spec was this Fox Stepcast Performance Series fork. It did a really great job absorbing all of the bigger hits at speed and was quite supple on the higher frequency, faster terrain, although I probably will still tweak with the settings a little bit more. And as for the frame and the cockpit, everything just felt really good. So next I will be getting this bike out in the Midwest for a trip, which I do plan to film some of that as well, and then back to Colorado, which by then should be getting into prime trail season up in the foothills, and soon after that the big mountains, which will really put this bike to the test. If you found this video useful, drop a like down below. If you have any questions or comments, drop those in the comments down below. And if you want to continue to follow along my rides and reviews of this bike, subscribe now. Lots more coming, so stay tuned. Thanks a lot and have a great day.